start with. I'm going to show you how I make the waves with this curling iron, which conceivably is probably too big for my length of hair, but I'm growing my hair out and I wanted something that can last for a long time. But I like the big waves that it gives me, so that's cool. 1.5 inch Hot Tools, and it's awesome. But I'm going to show you how, like, my technique, which I learned from Kate at the Small Things blog, the way she sections her hair and does the curl. And I'm going to show you how I do it, but I'm not going to show you the whole thing because that would be phenomenally boring. But I'm definitely going to show you the beginning of the first couple of curls and then what I do with the top section. So I do take my hair and I section it so I can curl it. I'll have a bottom layer and a top layer, and I have tried a lot of different things. Like, I'll have a smaller, depending on the type of curl I want, I have a smaller curl lower layer and a bigger section of top layer. It just depends. I'm going to go with really half and half here in terms of like how much hair I'm gathering. So I'm going to put that up in a little clippy. It's very cute. And then I'll show you what I do. Now, if my daughter hasn't stolen my Moroccan oil, I will spray my hair with that. It seems to make it shine and have nice curls, but she has stolen it. It's not in here. So what I do is I take a section, and it just a lot of times will depend on my time. If I don't have a lot of time, I'll take a pretty big section and then leave it in for a very long time. I have this on the hottest setting. You can maybe even see the steam. So what I'll do is I'll take a section that I want, I will wrap it around, and I'll leave this little end out for a little bit so I can get the curl, the wave, as much to the root as possible. And then I'll pull it out and hold it there with the bottom part being in the curl, in the curling iron. So then I have a nice wave. Now you can feel it's hot. I do not brush it out because it's going to come out a lot anyway because it's a very large wave. So I let it stay there, and depending on, like, if I'm going somewhere, I will probably do what most people do, which is squirt some hairspray there. But I don't really care to do that today. So again, you have to sort of pull it out, wrap it so that it's close to the scalp, and have that little tail hanging out. That is gonna get finished and pulled in. You don't want it like that, but it's sort of like you're doing half and half in terms of the curl itself, if that makes any sense. Like the curl close to your scalp and then down the very bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it out, and you can see I'm doing that and then curling again and then holding it. I get impatient. It's good if I'm listening to something or watching something. Let's see, and you can see that curl right there is very nice. It's going to be a good wave. So I've got one big section in the back, and I'm going to finish curling this and then show you what I do at the top. Okay, so I have finished this bottom layer, and I haven't pulled out any of the curls. I just did this one. This was a very short layer, so it's a very difficult layer to get a wave in. I'm just going to take my hands now and pull through the waves. I might take a little bit of a teasing brush. It just depends on what I want to do. I don't know. I'm still learning how to use that. So you can see the wave is extremely loose, but that's my lower layer, so that's okay. And this is when I will apply a little bit of hairspray, and if I need to go back in and fix any waves or curl more wave, I will do that here, but I like it like that. That's okay. Now I'll take this down and do the same thing with this top layer. I will start on this side and go around. It gets a little complicated in here. I like to be methodical with that, but I don't know. I'm still learning how to do this particular look with my hair, so I don't have a great method or system, maybe is a better word, but I will just continue to put waves all around, and they'll go this way, and then when I get to this side, they'll go this way. The one thing that I have learned recently that has made a huge difference is not to put any wave or curl this, to just fold it into whatever wave is right here. So I will not put any wave or curl here. I will just, when it's hot, I will just put it in. And I'll tell you, that has made it look more uniform and more like one long look, as opposed to the fact that I do still have bangs. And I'll probably always have bangs. Probably always have long bangs somewhere between here and below my chin. So I'm just going to do that right now. I'll show you a little bit, and then I will stop it or speed it up. I do try to brush through. Again, pull that through so you have a little tail. Hold it close to the scalp. I had to turn my fan on. And you will burn yourself on a curling iron like this if you are not careful. It's very hot. I pull it through that little tail. And this is a short layer, so it definitely is going to be a very loose curl. And I just pull it through and let it kind of hold it, let it cool down that way. And then I'll go on to the next bit of uncurled hair. Try to take the same amount. I'm not really particular about size of sections, but I do try to get them to be somewhat uniform. Again, pull it through to the scalp, have the little tail, hold it there, and your scalp will get hot, so you'll know when to pull it back down through the tail. Do that, just slightly do it, and then twirl it again, because you want to curl that bottom tail. That's a nice wave. See, this is shorter, this is longer, so it works a little better. So I'm going to keep working through. And yes, I do have red highlights underneath, red lowlights, I guess you would call them. Veronica and I were playing around with color patterns this month, and that's what we came up with. Alright, I'll check with you when I get back around. Okay, so here we are at the end, and I'm curling the last curl from all around my head, and I'm going to spin around. I don't even know what it looks like just yet. I need to look. The hardest part for me when I am curling my hair and I see these perfect little curls is not to want to go and go ahead and start messing with it. But the best thing you can do, you probably know this, is to just let those curls, whether they're big or little, is just to let them cool off on their own. And as you can see, I have left this section out, my bangs, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fold them into this last curl while it's still warm. So I have that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, with my fingers, just sort of curl it into there so that it becomes part of that, but it's not overly curled. So here we go. I'm going to spin around. I have no idea what it looks like. I hope I haven't missed any sections. So I'm going to look at it now. Oh, Not too bad. I don't know what that is. Okay, so now I'm going to show you, I'm going to start with my fingers, pulling out all of those curls. Now you could go in and put hairspray in first, and I'm a child of the 80s, so I do love hairspray, but I don't want it to be too crunchy. It just depends on what what you want to do. But again, I just do this with my hands as my comb. I want these big, big waves, so that looks totally fine to me. Now what I'm going to do, the very last thing I do besides spray it with hairspray, actually I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to make sure the front is okay. And if I need to, I will put in some more waves up through the top. And maybe I will. And with some really smaller sections, so it won't take too long to curl it. But because I resisted the temptation to pull those through as they were cooling off, I've got some very good wave there. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, what I have been doing, okay, so I like that. It's messy, cute. I will go in and do hairspray now. The very last thing I will do is I will back comb my crown, just to give it a little oomph. Like I said, and then brush that out so you can't see it too much. Like I said, 80s hair techniques die hard in the heart of a child of the 80s. So I'm always going to want a little bit of volume at my crown. That's just me. Now I don't like how, I want that to be more broken up. But also that's it. That's the look. Big waves, big hair. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Peace.